Sales Insight Shorties. Brought to you by Fused.
The $115K performance development gap. Your best reps are losing deals they should be winning, and it's probably your fault. Here's what Sarah, an AE at a Fortune 500 tech company, told us about her weekly one-on-ones. My manager asks what I'm going to do next. I say I'll follow up on pricing concerns, and he says good. Meeting over in 4 minutes. Then I wing the actual call and fumble the objection because I've never practiced handling budget pushback. Sound familiar? Our analysis of 160,000 plus revenue professionals shows this coaching failure cost teams $115,000 per rep annually. Here's what's really happening. Most managers assume asking, "What's your next step?" equals effective coaching because that's what traditional sales training teaches. Here's what we actually see when we analyze those conversations. Managers spend 3 to 4 minutes reviewing current deals, reps share their next tactical step, and then nothing. No role-playing the actual objection, no practicing the specific value articulation, no rehearsing the exact words they'll use with the prospect. Turns out, Sarah's manager asks about her 3 deals stuck in proposal for 45 plus days. Sarah says, "I'll call them about implementation timelines." Manager says, "Sounds good," but Sarah's never practiced handling the real objection that's stalling these deals, the prospect's concern about ROI during budget uncertainty. Here's the coordination gap most teams miss. Sales operations shows you exactly where deals get stuck in your CRM pipeline reports, but your one-on-ones never practice the specific skills needed to unstick them. Teams missing this connection see 4 to 7 times lower ROI on their coaching time because they're planning tactics instead of practicing execution. Here's what revenue teams that solve this actually do. They practice the exact conversation that's killing deals right now. When Mike, a sales manager at a B2B software company, shifted from next step planning to live conversation practice, here's what happened. He started each one-on-one with, "What's the real objection keeping your top 3 deals from advancing?" Then, instead of saying, "Sounds good," they spent 6 minutes role-playing the actual conversation using the prospect's specific language and concerns. For example, when Sarah's prospect said, "We're concerned about ROI during economic uncertainty," Mike had Sarah practice 3 different value articulation approaches until she could confidently address that specific concern. Teams implementing this conversation practice approach typically see 15 to 28% higher quota attainment within 90 days. This works because while competitors plan what to say, these teams practice saying it. They're rehearsing for Tuesday's 2 p.m. call, not preparing for someday. Here's exactly how to implement this starting with your next one-on-one. First, right now, open your CRM and look at your team's conversion rates between pipeline stages. If deals consistently stall moving from discovery to proposal, that's a qualification skill gap happening today. If they die moving from proposal to negotiation, that's a value communication gap you can practice this week. Second, in your next one-on-one, ask this diagnostic question. What convinced your top prospect to take the meeting but not move to the next stage? Then say, "Show me exactly what you're going to say to address that concern." Role-play the actual conversation using their real objections. Third, use this 6-minute practice structure. 2 minutes identifying the prospect's specific concern from their actual words. 2 minutes with your rep practicing the response. 2 minutes testing different approaches until it sounds natural. When Sarah's 3 deals kept stalling because prospects couldn't see differentiated value, her manager had her practice this exact response. "I understand you're seeing similar features across vendors. Here's the specific business impact our current clients achieved that they didn't get with alternatives." They practiced 3 variations until Sarah felt confident. She tested it that same week and moved 2 deals to negotiation by Friday because she was prepared for the actual objection, not generic scenarios. Try this 6-minute conversation practice in your next one-on-one this week and comment how many deals advanced. What's your team's biggest challenge with stalled deals? Drop it in the comments and let's solve it together. Ready to discuss how this applies to your specific coaching situation? Link on description to start that conversation. Everything you need to implement is already in this video.